What's going on, guys? KW Stout, healthmindpower.com. In this video, I want to talk about something that I see all the time with people who are pretty dedicated to fitness and to getting in shape, but they're just a little confused that they tend to be focusing too much on one aspect and not enough on the other. And so the point I'm going to make here is why you have to actually have your diet and exercise both on point to get really good results, to get in great shape. You know, if you want to get fit, if you just want to get in decent shape, then you can get away with one or the other. But if you want to be in great shape, you've got to do both. Okay. Now, I'll start with what I see most often. What I see most often are people who they can go to the gym, 4 or 5 days a week, no problem. Every week, they hit their workouts. They train hard. They train consistently. They train smart. They're doing compound movements. They're getting stronger, and they're on point. They're doing everything they need to do from that standpoint to get results. But they're pretty loose with the diet. They just can't. They don't track their macros, for one. There's no way they don't track their macros. And it's pretty much just like, eat pretty healthy during the week, and it just all goes to shit on the weekend, and that tends to be the most common thing I see. And the thing is, with taking that approach is fine. If you just want to be in shape, you can totally get away with that, assuming that you have already gotten to a point where you're in shape. Now, if you're really overweight and you want to lose a bunch of weight, then no, that's not going to cut it. But once you've gotten to a point where you're in pretty good shape, or at least you're pretty decent with your body composition, meaning like how much, your body fat percentage, so how much fat you have compared to how much muscle you have, if you're pretty happy with that, then you can get away with that, with doing that, and that's fine. And for a lot of people, that's it. Like for me in college, there was probably easily 2 to 3 years of college where that was my approach to fitness. I worked out because I genuinely enjoyed it. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to take care. I wanted to, to have physical activity to keep my body healthy. And I just pretty much wanted to offset my diet of eating whatever I wanted, because I was in college and spontaneous trips to the sushi place for sushi and sake at 4 p.m., or the late night 4 a.m. pizza and beer, you know what I mean? So that was at the time, that's what I wanted, and that was fine. That worked for me. And then on the opposite end, you'll see people who they eat really healthy all the time, and they're strict with their diet. And it's like whenever everyone goes out to eat, they're the one who gets a salad, or they're the one who gets some kind of weird quinoa plate thing that you didn't even see on the menu, because it wasn't on the part of the menu where all the good stuff is, But that person just never finds the time to work out. They can't even get themselves to do cardio. They just can't get themselves to do it. And this is kind of the same thing. Is like diet is way more important for fitness than training, but you have to do both. So if your goal is to lose fat, you can definitely lose fat doing that. If you have your diet on point and you don't work out at all, you can definitely lose fat. But you will hit a point when there are two big problems with this, okay? Especially if you're trying to lose weight. You will hit a point where you need some physical activity, okay? Because you have to keep decreasing your calories lower and lower. Every time you hit a plateau in your fat loss, you have to decrease the calories a little more. And you get to a point where you're having to starve yourself, and it really isn't the healthiest thing to do, to be eating that low of calories every single day. And not just that, but it's going to be fucking miserable. It's just, do you really want to eat like a bird every single day, day after day, just salad after salad? I love salads, but damn, come on now. So, by having some physical activity, aka exercise, you will increase the amount of calories you actually need to maintain the same amount of weight and make it easier on yourself for fat loss. But here's the other thing that a lot of people don't quite figure out until they until they make the switch to start training. And that is, you look at these, say, for example, I'm gonna use women for an example. Actually, this works for guys and girls, okay? So I'm gonna start with women. So, you're overweight, you lose a bunch of fat, and you're at the same weight as all these, Instagram girls and YouTube girls that you see. And by the way, keep in mind that everyone puts the best photo of themselves on Instagram. I do it. I mean, if I take a shirtless photo, then it's usually after a gym session to where our muscles are pumped up bigger, and I just, I look better. And I'm gonna, of course, use the right angle. And if I happen to be in a room with better lighting, then even better. And that's me, and I don't even really put too much effort into it. Now you gotta understand, the majority of these women you see on Instagram are not only are they taking it, and they're actually they bring lighting. Okay, so they're gonna use the best lighting. They're gonna use insane. They're so good with the angles, with how they twist their body and everything, to make themselves look like something they're completely not. And on top of that, they're gonna Photoshop the photo. So you can just don't even compare to that to begin with. But the girls who are legit, who are actually in shape and everything, and if you look at them and you wonder, well, we're about the same size, why don't I look like that? That's because she has muscle and you don't. That's because you don't train, you don't exercise, you only diet. And if you only diet, you may get skinnier, but you're not really fit. You're skinny fat, okay? And really what that means is you don't have muscle. You don't have muscle. You have fat in smaller amounts, basically. You only have body fat and very little muscle, and you've just decreased the amount of body fat. But even body fat in small amounts, it just doesn't look very good. It's not as it doesn't have as nice of a shape. It doesn't look as attractive, and especially women have a hard time getting their mind around this, because they think that having muscle automatically is going to make them look masculine and manly, and that's not the case. It's actually, you can't. Even if you wanted to, you couldn't. Very, very few girls can actually get very muscular naturally. These female bodybuilders and stuff you see, they're using all these drugs to get that. I mean, it takes actually, your body does not have enough testosterone to build that much muscle. Okay, you see all these guys out here struggling to put on muscle, and you think you're going to be bulking up? Come on, it's not going to happen. But even the thing is, when girls start building a little bit of muscle, you think it's going to give you a masculine look. It's the complete opposite. It actually gives you a better feminine look. It's going to give you more curve, but not jiggly curves, okay? Nice, firm, toned curves. That's what you're looking for. So, and the same thing goes for guys. If you're, a lot of the fitness models, and especially Hollywood actors and that you see on TV and everything, they look very muscular, but really they're actually lean. They have muscle, but they're lean, so they're really not that big, not as big as they look. And so you could lose fat by dieting and get down to the same size as one of these guys and look nothing like them. And it's the exact same thing, because you will look skinny fat. You're basically just a skinnier, all fat guy, and you've got to lift weights. You've got to do resistance training. You've got to exercise. You've got to build muscle if you want to get that more attractive look that everyone's going for. So to kind of bring this together, can you get away with doing one or the other? Yes, you can. Especially if you've already gotten to a point where you're in shape and you're happy with where you're at, then you definitely can. Okay, but to really get the look that most people are trying to get, and the look that people are selling whenever they sell you their workout program or their diet plan or whatever, you got to do both. It really, you have to do both. In fact, just for your own health and your own energy levels and everything, you need to do both. It's mandatory, really, to have the best health and to feel the best. It's mandatory. Physical exercise is just part of being human. We just need it. We need physical activity every day. It doesn't mean you have to be in the gym, every single day, or that you even have to lift weights if you don't want to. You can do any type of exercise that you enjoy. In fact, that's what you should do. You should figure out what you enjoy. It's just that weightlifting gives you the most control over your physical appearance, and it is the way that, if you're trying to look like the people on the magazine covers and all that, it is the most effective way to get that look. But if you just want to be, athletic looking, and have some muscle and everything, you don't have to do that. You can do calisthenics. You can build a lot of muscle with calisthenics. I mean, look at gymnasts. And there are a million ways to get in shape. But what's important is that you got to get away from this thinking of that, one or the other are going to cut it, because it's not. You got to do both. They're both important. Now, diet is more important than exercise, but it does not mean that exercise is not important. They're both important. It's just that of those two tools, of many tools that you use to change your body, diet's the more powerful tool. That's it. It's the more powerful tool, but it's not the only mandatory tool. So just something to keep in mind. Again, this is just it's one of those things where I just see it constantly, and I think it's because a lot of times you'll be reading a fitness book or fitness blog, or you listen to someone in one video or one thing, or just maybe it's just their thing, they emphasize one aspect of it, and it kind of, it gets to just distracting, gets you to think, oh, okay, well, maybe that is the only most important thing. But let me be here to give you a little friendly reminder that no, they're both important. You've got to do both. All right. Well, that's it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe to get more videos like this one. I'll see you in the next one.